So the finest female rapper of all time, Miss Remy Ma, was up at the Barclays watching a basketball game with the god MC Papoose. Let me read you what Pap had to say about it up on Simpstagram, because I be simping for fine women like Remy. That's why I call it Simpstagram. But anyways, Pap said, hashtag Barclays Center, how you talk when the Duce kick in. Peace to hashtag Rock Nation, hashtag Black Love. Pap once again represent for Black Love. Love it. Pap and Remy, they are the epitome of Black love. I'm Mick loving it. But here's the deal. Now, why am I even talking about this? Why would I blog a vlog about this? Okay, Remy's looking fine as hell. Pap has his Black love hat on. Love that. Y'all know I'm a mega fan of Pap and Remy. I was rooting for them to get on the show before Remy got out of jail. I was like, look, they need to put Papoose and Remy up on Love and Hip Hop New York. That's what they do. That's what they need to do. That's what the show needs. They need Pap and Remy. I used to blog about it and make videos about it. Blogs and vlogs. Thankfully, my wish came true, because I think I was the first one to talk about it on social media, or at least on the blogs. And I was like, man, if they could just put them on the show, it'd just psh. And then when they brought Cardi B on the show too, on the same scene, what? See, they were trying to be funny. They spoiled me with that one. Y'all know Love and Hip Hop New York is my favorite out of the three that are currently showing. Out of Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, New York is my fave. Man, they have just too many lovable cast members. But anyways, so what is the point of this video? Got the Black Love hat. We got Remy Ma looking fine as ever. But what is it about it? I just want to say this. A lot of dudes are into sports, and I never could understand this. I would hear about, because I'm not really into sports, but I would hear stuff about how dudes would be like watching a game and a girl get in the way, and they would be like, move away from the TV, and they would rather watch men run around sweating and playing with balls than to look at their woman. And I'm like, damn, that's suspect as hell. I know Pap rather look at Remy. You know what I'm saying? I know Pap is a real dude. He might like his basketball, but he loves him some Remy. You know what I'm saying? He rather sit from the Remy bottom. Anyway, I don't understand how these dudes could care more about some damn basketball than they could care about their woman. Woman get all dialed up and whatnot, looking all extra fine. Now, you might say, well, what do you consider to be dialed up? I consider ponytails, no makeup, and sweatpants to be dialed up. Just the fact that you comb your hair is enough to make a brother stand up and want to blow your back out like a suicide bomber. Jesus, you know how I gets down. But anyways, Jesus, because it don't take much. As long as the woman's fine, she don't have to do anything all special. Now, Remy went all out. You would thought she was presenting an award at a show the way she did herself up. Jesus, she just she probably had a team get her ready for that game. But Remy's the type of fine, she's the type of fine, she could be the stripped down fine, with the ponytail and the sweatpants. She doesn't have to do all of that. But hey, that's what she wanted to do. So it's Remy. That's Queen Rem. What we gonna do about it? Nothing. We just gonna enjoy it. But the whole thing is this, though. I never could understand how dudes could like to look at sports when they could like to look at their woman. If you got a woman there's not that many women as fine as Remy. But you know what I'm saying. If you got a fine ass woman, might say, how the fuck you like sports more than you like looking at your woman? Ninja, please. I just wanted to make this a public service announcement to say, all you dudes that got you a fine woman on your side and you rather watch sports, and the immortal words of Riley from the Boondocks, Ninja, you fruity. That's not how he said it, though. You know what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, shout out to Papoose. Shout out to Rem at the Barclays doing things big. I see he shouted out Rock Nation. I didn't know that one of them or both of them were managed by Rock Nation. I was talking about Jay-Z's company, right? Remember Pap and Jay had their little thing going for a while there? Because Pap is from Brooklyn, Jay's from Brooklyn. Papoose is the God MC. Jay-Z says he's the God MC. But that's none of my business. I mean, Jay-Z is still that dude, though. Well, all I'm going to say is this. If they ever did a battle, I'll have my money on Pap. Now, the illest shit of all time would be if Pap and Jay did a silent room battle, or if they went up on Summer Madness and stepped on stage, set it up. Oh, that'd be crazy. I would be up in New York. I would pay $1,000 to go stand in the back and watch 4 or 5 battles of whack motherfuckers just to see Jay-Z and Papoose throw down lyrically. Anyways, that'll never happen in a million years. Maybe Papoose and Drake can battle, but still, he would destroy Drake. At least with Jay-Z, he would actually be a real match. But anyways, this is all my opinion, me senselessly rambling about one of my favorite couples in hip hop because I miss them, because they're not on my TV. So I just had to find an excuse to talk about them because they all add a bag of chips with the dip. But anyways, let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you miss Pap and Remy from Love and Hip Hop? How much are you anticipating the show coming back? I know that wasn't proper grammar because I'm ignorant, but on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm missing them a 10. So I'm gonna need Love and Hip Hop New York to show early. Right after Love and Hip Hop Hollywood goes off, Jesus, they're gonna have to show it in like January or something like that. Whenever Love and Hip Hop Hollywood goes off, I need, for the last episode of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the reunion, probably the part 2 of the reunion, I needed to go right into Love and Hip Hop New York, like literally the show after that. Like you put one show on at 8, the next show on at 9. I need some Pap and Rim, I need some Cardi B, but that's just me. And some Amina Butterfly, and some Sexy Lexi, and some Mariah Lynn, but that's just me. Meat Magazine.